Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Hey everybody, it's Liam and Big Al with special guest Spee from the Don't Be Blasè podcast. This is The Badcast.
Mate, you almost needed to take a breath then. It was,
There's a lot of words in one sentence.
You were going as blue as the microphone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. How you going, Biggie? Welcome back to the panel.
Mate, I know, I'm sounding a bit husky. It's I'm just going to class it as too much sun on the Gold Coast.
Very good.
Or the fact that I just had to drink shit beer like
it's some tough stuff
I know,
up there.
summer, I think the as well.
Oh, that's just the...
fucking give instead.
All right. What about so? What have you been doing? Where have you been touring? What's been going on?
I emceed a conference up in the Gold Coast.
Okay.
Which was delightful. I've got a very awkward moment that I'll share afterwards.
Okay, right.
But no, that was a lot of fun. Went to Ripley's Believe It or Not, and saw the tallest man and fucking shit painted on cobwebs. It was just
magic.
Weird things.
Okay, very good. Very good.
It was a lot of fun. It's good to be back. And then I was back then another conference up in the Barossa Valley in Nuriupta.
Okay.
So it's the voice, I don't know. It's a combination between talking and just shitloads of liquid just coming past the larynx.
It's a magic thought. Just thinking about that.
Oh yeah.
Thanks very much.
Queenslanders have got this thing where I got a husky voice, mate. Oh, let's just get some Bundy into you.
Yeah.
Oof. And it's like, I think that's what caused it.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was just my throat's not as bogan as yours. But no, but the last episode was great. With,
Scottish
George and Spider.
And Spider and Kiwi Paul and Dr. Dan.
Spider, I reckon he's a guy that's right up our alley.
But welcoming to the panel, Spee.
Thanks for having me.
Sort of round of applause here.
There we go.
Now, welcome to the show, mate. Thanks for coming on. Spee, you do the Don't Be Blasè podcast. So for the uninitiated, do you want to just tell the Badcast listeners out there what your podcast is all about?
Is that just about a polite way to say, don't be a boring fuck?
No, it's more so about the guy that I host it with. It's a friend of mine, Steve. Well, in a previous life, we were both professional wrestlers. He's since retired and become a family man, but his wrestling name was Blasè. The show's basically about the fact that we both love the NBA, we love hip hop, we love wrestling, we love the footy, but agree on nothing within those subsections. This is the title of the show was somewhat of a subtle dig at him, just like don't be Blasè, don't be like him.
Yeah,
he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's no good.
Sure.
We get into some pretty heated debates, and recently we've actually started agreeing on things. So I think this may be the end of the show.
So the podcast is over, basically.
Yeah, right.
So has it ever got to the point that you have disagreed so much you just wrestle?
No, we've had to pause the recording a couple of times. We have gotten heated, and then sometimes it's just like, right, see you next week. Not talking to you anymore.
Do your oil up before the wrestling, though?
Oh, you always got to oil up before the wrestling. You don't want to go in dry.
Okay.
It's not good for anybody.
Like my prison experience.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Tell us about wrestling, man. Like, it's not something that I've, when I was a bit younger, I liked a couple of wrestlers, but tell me
Hulk
how
Hogan
from the
Animal
80s.
Steel.
Everyone has a wrestling story from their childhood. You sort of see it, and there's all these larger than life characters and performers and stuff like that, and everyone got drawn in. Whether you had the 80s era or the late 90s guys, everyone loves The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, but everyone has a story about watching and loving wrestling.
Yep.
And mine's no different. Like, that was always the thing. Me and my brother used to watch the WWF back in the early 90s and stuff. And we were only allowed to watch it on the weekends when we went to my dad's. But, you go to dad's on the weekend, watch wrestling, because otherwise we'd fight at home and mum would be like, that's it, you two, no more wrestling. And so my brother sort of grew up and, found adult things to do, but I just I'm on this wrestling.
Stuck with it.
So, I was 17, I started training, had to get my mum to sign a permission slip for me to do my first match, and
really?
I've been doing it ever since.
Okay, how far can we go behind the curtain of the wrestling world.
Before they kick us out.
No, you can pretty much go anywhere now. I mean, that's the whole thing about wrestling. Everyone knows. It used to be, protected. Like, when I first started training, my trainer was that old, grizzled trainer that you see, like in the Rocky movies, like Mick. And he was from that era
Don't touch the meat.
Yeah. My trainer was from the era of this is real, protect it with your life. You know what I mean? Like, it was a carnival show, basically.
Yeah.
But now everyone sort of knows what's up with it. It's all wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But everyone knows it's predetermined.
How does it work though? Like, so so you'll get the call up like, righto, you're fighting Bozo the clown wrestler. Next Saturday night. You're going to take a couple of elbows to the eye.
Oh, you don't go into it too much. That's the thing. Everyone thinks it's some sort of pre-choreographed dance.
Right.
And some of the guys do like to set out a few things here and there, like what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. Now, I've been hitting the head with a few too many steel chairs, so I can't remember. Like, a lot of my matches go for about 10, 15, 20 minutes.
That explains the twitch.
Yeah. And I can't remember about 20 minutes worth of choreography. So it's like, I'm just like, I'll just talk to you while we're in the ring. So there's like a few little magic tricks of, you're not watching what the right hand's doing when the left hand's doing the trick. So there's a few things like that you do, but for the most part, it's
How does it work? Who gets to choose who's going to win and who's going to lose?
Oh, we've got several ideas. We either do flip a coin, rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Or it's basically, there's a promoter that runs the show, and you can't have all the good guys win, and you can't have all the bad guys win. So you've got to create a balance, and what will get people drawn into what will come to the next show. It's like a soap opera. You got to have stories that hook in and bring people, keep them coming back. So
okay. Yeah, so they like to see the guy who keeps getting beaten, and then finally, as the underdog, he comes up and beats Taker.
Yeah, you've got to have the underdog story. You've got to have the big vicious bad guy. You've got to have the it's got all the melodrama characters. You've got your bumbling hero. You've got your damsel in distress. You've got your sinister villain. You've got all those characters, and you need to have them tie in. And we just have a different medium of telling stories. We oil ourselves up, put on little shorts and fake tan, and pretend to fight.
Exactly what my Saturday night consists of.
Except we get paid for it. So
I think he does as well, actually.
Oh, right.
I call myself Lucille.
There you go.
But is there a wrestler that just constantly loses? Is his name Carlton?
No, but we do have. Oh, come on now! I'm a Carlton fan, mate. That's below the belt. Oh, you've hurt me on that one. You really hurt me.
It stings.
The only thing I've had to claim my fame.
Start the car, Liam. Start the car.
We got Paddy Cripps. He made the All-Australian team, and I think he may be the only player ever in the All-Australian team on a team with only had 2 wins.
So what's your wrestle name?
What's your character?
Rocky Monero.
Rocky Monero.
So I took my name from my 2 favourite characters from movies, obviously Rocky from Rocky.
Yep.
And Tony Monero is John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. So I was 17-year-old when I picked that name, and I chose Rocky because it's really easy to chant. So whether I've been a good guy, it's always like Rocky. The crowd can get into it. Or when I'm a bad guy, it's Rocky sucks. So I chose the name because everyone recognises it.
Wrestlers have often got their special move. I mean, you're probably more versed. Some of the big guys. All this, they've got their signature move, right? So what's your...
I just use the top rope elbow drop because I used to do a few different moves. I'd do this, do that, and, once you get into it too much, you start to do things that are too complicated, it's like... You go see a comedian, and there's some comedians that just throw out some really random jokes that only other comedians will really get. And it's like, okay, that works for those people, but I just dumb it down. I just basically tell knock-knock jokes. Everyone goes, hey, do you do anything off the top rope, like an elbow drop? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start using a fucking elbow drop off the top rope because that's what everyone knows, and they can recognise it, and then you explain it, everyone goes, oh, that'd be sick.
Out of 10, copping one of those, if you're lying there, how much contact do you make?
Oh, it depends if you like the guy or not, really.
Right.
Usually it's the end of the match, and if you don't like him, you can lay it in pretty thick. Otherwise, if it's someone that you're mates with or you want to work with again, or you're going to have a match with and they're going to hit you back, you might be a little bit nicer. But
So if you don't get along with the dude you're in the ring with, right?
Yep.
Then the camel slaps might be a bit harder than otherwise.
You find that the guys that you don't get along with, you tend to work with a lot better because you're both it's almost that Mexican standoff, like, oh, if I hit him, he's going to hit me, and you don't want it to descend into a real fight because that's just pointless. Because if you're really hitting each other...
Great entertainment, though.
Well, everyone thinks it's fake anyway. So if you're really hitting each other and you're really getting hurt, they still think it's fake. So what's the point?
He's pretending to die.
He's bleeding.
But it's the ones that you're mates with that you tend to accidentally, because you're a bit looser and and all of a sudden you throw a punch and you didn't quite space it out right. You've hit him in the jaw. Oh shit! Sorry. So these sorts of things happen.
Well, I took wifey to on one of our first dates to the wrestling because I went to, I think it was the RCW or something like that.
That's what I work for, RCW.
Is it? Oh, right, okay. And I went with a mate like a week or so before. And I thought, oh, well, this chick seems to have the same kind of sense of humour, because I was laughing some of the stuff. It was good entertainment, bit of fun, and I've taken her there, and she's like, oh man, it's kind of violent. I said, oh no, it's just kind of rehearsed and stuff. It's not violent at all. And next minute, this dude must have got scratched, and he starts bleeding from the chest, and she goes, holy fuck. I went, that's not supposed to happen.
It's one of those things, when you see it on TV, it does seem a little bit watered down. Same like when you watch a game of footy, you see them hit each other, you're like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
but if
yeah.
you see the same hit in a local footy game where you can hear it, you're like,
Yeah,
oh, shit. You know, and it has that sort of appeal.
Yeah.
That's why I always try to tell people as wrestling fans, go to a live show, because you get immersed in it once you're there. It's easier to suspend your disbelief about what you're watching when you're there, because you can buy into the story, you can buy into the atmosphere of it, and that's what gets people excited. It's like, it's like going to a comedy show. I could show you a clip from a YouTube show.
Yep.
It could be the same jokes, but if there's no crowd behind it with the laughter or people getting excited,
totally.
you're like, this comedian's not very funny.
Yep.
But if you go to a live show and everyone's sort of rolling, everyone's having a good time, it makes everything better. Live performances always make everything better, and we just try to tap into that.
No, it is a lot of fun. We should definitely go there. Maybe we can commentate a match.
Maybe we should. That
Maybe
sounds
we
like
should
a good
wrestle each other. How about
idea.
that?
We've been talking about this for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Are we going to oil up, though?
We could oil up.
Let's talk about this over the drinks break. We're going to have a Badcast drinks break, everybody. We'll be back.
How's your Wednesday, mate?
Pretty good, mate.
Well, it's about to get a lot better.
Why?
The Elephant British Pub has $8 jugs of West End draft all day, every Wednesday.
Whoa! Say that again?
I said the Elephant British Pub has got $8 jugs of West End draft all day, every Wednesday.
Well, let's head to the East End to grab a jug of West End.
Always good times at the Ellie.
Now back to the boys.
Fucking hell.
What was that fucking thing?
Is that a dead set Lotus?
Hey, everybody. Welcome
Well,
back
I'm not
to the
gonna pretend I
Badcast.
don't have a bit of a nugget in my pants.
I think we got attacked by some kind of prehistoric insect.
Yeah.
We are
in the jungle.
outdoors. We're al fresco here on a bit of a rainy Thursday afternoon. We're at the second floor pub club.
Believe it or not,
Drinkatorium.
upstairs from the first floor.
That's right.
It's not just a clever
Very
name.
fitting. Very.
And we are enjoying a nice little... It's almost like we're around a campfire, isn't it,
Yeah,
fellas?
it's got a bit of a heater thing going
I
on.
like the shrubbery. We've got a bit of fake greenery
Some
up there
great fake
too.
greenery.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So, Speed was like just showing us a few moves and
Yep.
stuff. It was more he got me in a headlock because I tried to steal his wallet.
You were just too keen with the oil, though. Like, look, where do we put it? How does it
Yeah,
work?
I know. I got kicked out of the kitchen here too. Went straight to the deep fryer. Hey kids, wait for the fucker to cool down.
It's,
That's all I'm saying. 30-degree
Looks like
burns on my
Pizza
nipple.
the Hut these days.
Yeah. I know, a few
I
days ago.
imagine.
I think he's melting. He's too close to the fire. I've just ordered myself up and ready for a wrestle.
So, what else has been going on, guys? You know.
Can I tell you a very embarrassing story?
Okay,
So
go
I'm
on.
at the hotel. So I was on the third floor.
Yeah.
There was this relatively big guy. But
Upstairs from here.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And I'd taken him in the conference, and he had this little kid with him. Another guy come in, and he trod on the kid's foot, and he turned around to the little kid and went, "Oh, sorry, mate." And I nodded to the dad and went, "He's not sorry." Which is, I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Right? Problem is, like, 2 flights went up, and then the fucking kid got out.
Yep.
And the guy stayed there. And I thought, this is a bit fucking weird. And then when the doors closed, I turned around and went, oh man, sorry, I thought that was your kid. Oh, right? And he goes, no. Well, and because it was a little right?
Yeah.
So he goes, what the fuck was that kid? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, maybe you adopted him. And he's like, no, I fucking didn't. It's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so fucking sorry.
You're taking the stairs to work for the rest of the week.
Jesus. I was like, fucking hell. And then, like, from then on, like, I think it took a half an hour for me to get, like, a few more flights up. Because
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, fucking kill me now. Oh, fuck shit. And I feel sorry for this kid. He's walking back going,
There's some scary man.
All these people are stepping on my feet, and then they're all laughing at me. And
it was fucking awkward. It was
Yeah.
just like, and then these 2 strangers, I didn't know these guys, just a couple, got at the same floor, and they were like pissing themselves. Then they go, awkward for you, but hilarious for us. Like,
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
I just couldn't just stare at the door anymore. I was like,
So you're on the run from Queensland police right now.
Part of it, I'd say like he's adopted, but part of me, I looked at him and just go, "You look like someone who would buy a." Like it's.
Can you please tell me you said that to his face as well?
No, I should have, but yeah. So no, good times.
Crazy
So,
times. In fact, you told me another
gonna be
funny
back.
story while you're up there about being on the balcony. Now, you've sent it to me in text, so don't make me go through my phone.
Oh, yes.
But it was something to do...
Yeah, it was like some fucking, like, oh, you fucking... All I heard was like... Oh, excuse me, a little bit of gas.
Did her voice sound like that?
Yeah, pretty much. All I hear is like, just go, yeah, I do fucking like him, but his dick's fucking rank.
Oh, wow. At that stage, you just shut it off because that conversation's not going to get any better. That's like George Costanza going out in a high. Just walk out.
Drop the mic.
I do like him, but his dick's rank.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
wow.
like, right, okay, fantastic.
That is fucking...
So whoever's...
that is fucking out of control.
If that's you, then just wash up, mate.
Just have a
This is why I don't wrestle in Queensland
bird
anymore.
bath, mate.
Because Charlene thinks I'm rank.
Yeah, so, good times.
Yeah, well...
No, it has been fantastic. So do you get to tour around Australia doing the wrestling? Or?
I used to, back in the younger days, when
Yeah,
I was sort
right.
of taking it a bit more seriously. I'd do at least 4 shows a month. So I'd probably be
Wow,
Melbourne on a
okay.
Friday night, maybe wrestling Adelaide Saturday, and then the next weekend, maybe Perth or Queensland or
Jeez.
Canberra, and then, get one weekend off and then back to Adelaide again. Yeah.
So what's the scene in other states? Like, obviously, because Adelaide's obviously a bit smaller than... is that more massive? Or do we have... Because I think we got a pretty good following here.
Yeah, we're on par, with the best in Australia. Like, there's a show recently in Melbourne, like a local promotion that drew over 1,000 people, which was very, very good. Like, they had a big special show. It was their sort of 100th anniversary show, and they had a big name come over from Japan. Because the good thing about the Australian wrestling scene is, at the moment, we actually have a couple of guys that are now like considered world-class talents, and there's a couple of guys that are in the WWE. We got guys that wrestle permanently in Mexico and Japan. They've all started here.
Yeah, right.
There's the one guy that lives in Mexico. He did get robbed 4 times in the first 6 weeks.
Wow.
So he kept
While
us
in the ring.
kept us updated.
They will do you many times. That's
But he goes, the 50-cent street tacos made up for that. So
Wow.
yeah, we've actually got an Adelaide girl in the
what is a street
WWE
taco
right now.
precisely?
I did see that.
Yeah,
so she's made it into the WWE.
Yeah, so Demi Bennett, otherwise known as Rhea Ripley in the WWE, she's
Okay.
an absolute superstar. She was one of those ones that she used to be the girl, the fan that came to all the shows and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I got to be the, g'day kid, sign autographs for her. And now I'm just like, I know her. Like, she's an absolute
Wow,
superstar.
wow.
So,
my
yeah.
autograph back.
Yeah.
Can you
Pretty
sign
much.
it? Because I think we, back in the day on... I think her name was Savannah. She was like a wrestler.
Yeah, she's still around. She's still going.
around, yeah.
She even made my trunks, my little tights that I wear. So
I bet she did.
Is that a euphemism?
Afterwards, she made them that little bit tighter as well.
Yeah, she is. When she saw, she goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna need to take a bit out of the front." Yeah.
Cut the arse out entirely, actually.
Yeah,
It's,
maybe the favourite part was getting measured up.
Yeah. I kept requesting a good measuring. She's like, "No, I know how big you are." I'm like, "No, come on, let's just
come on.
let's get that tape measure out, take my inseam again."
Yeah, it is winter in Adelaide. Come on, it's been so fucking cold. I've been pissing on my nuts.
just to stay warm. On that delightful note, we're going to take another drinks break, and we'll be back with some more Badcast, everybody. You good with that?
I've done it again.
This beer break was proudly brought to you by Captain Snag, the ultimate food van for your next event. Enjoy beef, lamb, and pork gourmet sausages in a fluffy white bun with your choice of coleslaw, caramelised onion, shredded cheese, and diced bacon, plus your favourite sauces or mustard. It doesn't get any better than that. If you want Captain Snag to come to your next event, get in contact at captainsnag.com. Now, back to the boys.
And we're back with the Badcast, everybody, and we're talking about... No, we were just
Would
talking...
you like another drink, mate?
You know how sometimes we turn the mics off for a drinks break, of course.
Yeah.
And then we start talking, and then we go, "Oh, this is interesting enough to be in the podcast," which is fairly marginal at best, to be honest. But
Or a couple episodes ago where we got so fucking drunk that we turned the mics back on and we're a totally different place.
that's right. That happens sometimes as well on the Badcast.
But it was we were talking about our favourite comedians.
Yeah.
And Spee, it was yours as
Bill Cosby.
I was a huge Cosby fan because I just loved the wholesome stories, and that show was just so wholesome and sweet and just really funny. But just I think that's that lost art of comedy. Now it's just that whole, everything's slapstick, everything's aggressive, everything's in your face, but now everyone gets offended by everything. So you feel like comedy is this thing that everyone has to tiptoe around. Whereas back in the day, like even without having to try too hard, you could tell a few wholesome, like we were discussing, Liam, you told me about the Martin Short and Steve Martin.
Yeah, isn't that some wholesome stuff?
And it's just like, it's just, on Netflix, it's good entertainment.
Well, I think Martin Short's never actually done stand-up as per se. Like he hasn't been one of those that've come through the comedy circuit.
Yeah, no, he always did the characters and sketches,
big, massive guy on Saturday Night Live and... Yeah, so he's never really kind of done the whole kind of comedy circuit. Where Steve Martin, like I'm a massive audiobook fan because I don't have to fucking read.
I mean, let's be honest, you can't read, can you?
I know.
So,
well, he can. He just has to put his finger under every line.
Exactly. Cut the fucking syllables. But Steve Martin does his autobiography, and he actually reads it out on the audiobook.
All right.
It's fantastic. He started off as a magician in the Disney Magic Shop.
There you go.
And that's how he kind of got started. And he was just kind of just a little bit different, a bit eccentric and... And things.
I've always loved Steve Martin, and Martin Short's great as well. But one of the funny jokes from that evening, I don't want to, what's the thing you say before you tell people?
Copyright or?
This
isn't my joke.
This is a stolen joke. No, but he goes, this is a photo of me, and it's a photo of him when he was younger. It's kind of an old photo from probably the olden days in black and white and stuff. But he said, well, this is actually a colour photo because, obviously he's just he's so white in every feature of his.
Well, I got to
which was hilarious.
I was talking about Billy Crystal. He does a show called 700 Sundays.
Yep.
I think it's on. I think it's on one of the fucking Netflix or Stan or fucking or something, whatever the fucking neighbours have tuned into, and it's called 700 Sundays because he spent 700 days with his dad. 700 Sundays, and it's great. It's just, and we were just talking about like how. It was just talent, pure talent. And I got to meet Billy Crystal. I did a meet and greet when he came over here to Australia like a few years ago.
That's awesome.
And he was like a fantastic bloke. He was like really, really like just generally down to earth, really nice. He actually did kind of got into comedy. He did the Muhammad Ali sketch.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm so fast. But, I think it's just that talent of, and I'm not saying that comedians aren't talented, but back in the day, they had to be actors, they had to be comedians.
Well, it was the whole keep it simple thing.
It was.
I love listening to old comedians. They always say that their favourite joke's the Henny Youngman joke. The three-letter setup, three-word setup, one-word punchline, the take my wife, please. It's just such simple entertainment, but it's just one of those ones that you can go, I appreciate that. You can understand there's some thoughts gone into that one, and it's just so simple, but it's so entertaining.
I know, if you think about it, like if Rodney Dangerfield was born like in this area,
he would never survive. He would be Me Too'd by now, no doubt.
I just love the fact that he tried comedy, he wasn't any good at it. He actually went and sold insurance, and then he came back and tried comedy again when he's 40s, just basically being the insurance salesman that gets no respect, and that was his gimmick, and he just ran with that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Rodney Dangerfield.
If he was an athlete, like his eyes would get over the finish line before he did. Massive shout out to Maria. Yeah. Anyway, it's so do you do any comedy in your wrestling?
Well, we do actually. There's always a space for everything. We always say that wrestling's like the three-winged circus. If you don't like the elephants, you'll like the clown. If you don't like the clown, you like the trapeze. So we need to have, you can't just have guys seriously pretending to fight the whole time. We have the girls come out and fight. We have, you'll have a comedy match. You've got to tell different stories throughout the night. Otherwise, people would just
saying you fight girls, dude.
There are matches where guys have fought girls.
Really?
That's a new thing. That's part of the Me Too movement.
Okay.
And no, I'm serious. This is like a big deal now. Intergender wrestling is now huge in wrestling.
So I've been a fan for a while, to be honest. But
it's not a max night.
All right. On that note, I think that's probably...
You get Me Too'd to death at it. If you were in charge of a wrestling show, mate, you'd be in serious trouble.
I know. And so can you imagine? So you're a personal trainer as well.
Yep.
So you're looking at me just going, fucking hell, new client.
Cha-ching! Like, you can see the dollar signs in his eyes right now.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Stop eating pies and reach for the skies.
If I had to rely on those sorts of lines, I'll be at the unemployment line pretty quick.
All right. Well, thanks very much for listening, everybody. Tell everybody about your podcast and where they can find you on the internet.
So, yeah, it's the Don't Be Blasè podcast, or just Don't Be Blasè podcast. Find us
Can you spell that for us idiots?
Has it got an apostrophe in the
It does. It has one of those little flicky ones on the
It's
end
a
of the
fancy
so
E, isn't it?
BLAS and fancy E.
Don't be Blaze for you fucking idiots out there, all right? Don't be Blaze.
Which is also, it could head
With an
towards
S, though.
a
With an
demographic
S.
where people are just going, well, you want me to blaze up? Oh, fuck.
We might be a lot more listenable if you fire one of those up beforehand. So find us on Facebook and, your iTunes, anywhere you get your podcasts and that sort of thing. So, we put it out every Wednesday afternoon. So,
Awesome.
He puts out every Wednesday, guys.
But I put it out every day if you ask me nicely.
With oil as well. It's
and where do you wrestle? Can you say that?
Check out Right City Wrestling. It's a Adelaide promotion. They're on everything, all the social medias, the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all under Right City Wrestling. So you'll find all the details for that there, or the Rocky Monero, Facebook, Instagram. That's where you get all my wrestling stuff, or you can even look up SpeeT on Instagram. It's my personal training business site. It's a very clever name. My name's Spee, and I'm a PT. We made it SpeeT. It's fucking brilliant.
With the
And a
T.
picture of him just in a basket driven along with a kid on a bike. It's fantastic.
Super
that's
weird.
not
It's a
SpeeT,
super weird
it's a-
Instagram, actually. No, actually, no, it's
So you
not.
come to people's house. I'm not asking you, but
I have in the past, yes.
Yeah,
I have done the mobile PT stuff, that sort of thing, but it just does get a little bit frustrating just having to go here, there, and everywhere. It's just nice to be in one spot and everyone comes to you. So.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, I just didn't want to leave the couch, that's all.
Where can people find you and your PT training business, Big Al?
Yeah, mate, I'll be sporting a boob tube across, the River Torrens. Hey, it wasn't a boob tube when I got it, but, don't throw shit into the dryer, kids, in winter. Especially when you're really struggling to get into that 3XL in the starters. You don't do that because they really fucking shrink. So hopefully by the end of the run, the heat will kind of bring it back down to a belly button level.
Very good, very good.
Yes, I'll be doing that. And
so what gigs have you got coming up, dog?
So I've got a few bits and pieces going on. But if you want an MC for your wedding, don't ask me. I'll ruin it. But a Bucks night, I'm there.
Your
I'm there
beauty,
for the,
Christenings?
Christenings. So I will dunk any kid in the water. It's a hobby. Like, here you go. He doesn't even want to be baptised. It's just something I do on the weekend at Largs Bay.
It's weird that you've got the robes though. What are those weird white robes? Where did you get them, and why do you wear them? And why don't you wear underpants underneath them?
It's just a king size sheet, mate.
All right.
Just pluck a couple of holes in it. It's all good to go.
It's a fucking cape, isn't
Stole
it?
some curtain, little dingle dangle things to work on there. It's a pelmet. I'm actually wearing a pelmet. It's.
Where can they find you on the internet then, Biggie?
Big Al Comedy on Facebook. The Twitter, I don't really use that much, but I'm there as well. And that's about it. I probably should get a website, shouldn't I?
Get a website.
Yeah.
All right.
Do people still do the websites?
Hey, if you want to give Biggie a website, get in touch with him, and he'll do anything. Trust me.
I'll buy some beers for you.
Yeah, and the rest. So anyway, this has been the Badcast. Thanks for listening, everybody. Check us out on all the major podcast apps. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and you can get us on the Breaker app as well. What's your one, Biggie?
It's just Big Al Comedy. I've got a theme and stuck with it, to be honest.
Big Al Comedy. on podcast
All one word. On one word.
One word, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks, mate.
Help us buy more beers and sponsor us. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, or badcast.com.au. The Badcast is part of the Ozcast Podcast Network.
Look at you, champion. And you too, Liam. I'll cut that bit out.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.